the champion. Bum, 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 bum. Word on the street is them boys moving to a new Champions League format next year. What was wrong with the regular Champions League format that they've been having for the longest? One thing about football is y'all boys are not scared to change anything. Boys go come up with a proposal and they go ship it through unless major revolt happens like the Champions League. Not Champions League, the Super League. Word on the street is this new Champions League format is basically like a new proposal of the Super League, but they disguise it as a Champions League to make it work. Now y'all know how I am when it comes to the Super League. I'm like sitting on the fence. I kind of rock with it compared to y'all. You know, a lot of people, y'all traditionalists, you know, y'all like to see the little teams like get a chance to play the big teams or whatever. But it's like this the culture that y'all build over there. The big teams go stay great and the little teams go stay underneath. So with the Super League, and I think this new Champions League format is working with, is that we gonna see more big teams play each other instead of seeing teams like Bayern Munich versus Red Star. We get to see Bayern Munich versus Atletico Madrid type shit more often than not. Even though Bayern are down right now, agree to score against Lazio 1-0. They play later today. I will be live on Twitch, twitch.tv/TheBronco0. But I do predict Bayern to put up like a good 3-4 goals and secure their claim back. But yeah, how would the new Champions League work by Tifo Football? Let's see what goes down, man.
The Champions League is changing. From the 2024-25 season, the number of teams, the structure of competition, and the means of qualification will all be different.
So they added more
as per
teams
a UEFA
too.
decision taken in May 2022. So, what's new?
One thing that I don't like is they added more games, bro. That's one thing that I hate because y'all do not get a break in football, boys. It is literally year-round after the season end and the in-season continental tournaments. Then you got the national team ball. Like, it's too many games for y'all,
Firstly,
bro.
the number of teams competing in the competition will increase from 32 to 36.
So they added 4 new
Meaning
teams.
there will now be 189 matches instead of 125.
Look at that. More matches. That is 60 more matches. 64 more matches that's being played, bro. It's good for the money. Money makes the world go round. This is what it's like centered around, but like...
And the group stage will be replaced by a league phase, otherwise known as the Swiss model.
The Swiss
That much we already knew and has already been covered by Tifo previously. Each team will be guaranteed to play 8 matches in the league phase, down from the proposed 10, of which they will play half at home and half away. The top 8 sides in the league will then qualify automatically for the knockout stage, with those finishing in 9th to 24th competing in a 2-legged playoff to determine who reaches the last 16 of the competition.
I like that.
The biggest bone of contention has been regarding qualification though, and the rumoured historic wildcards that were expected to protect underperforming clubs with European pedigree. That proposal has changed. Now, 2 of the extra 4 qualifying slots will be awarded to nations whose clubs achieve the best collective performance during the season before. To work this out, the total points earned will be divided by the number of sides competing in European club competitions. This is a notable move away from the heavily criticised plan to employ 5-year historical coefficients. As a working example, if the new rules had been applied to the 2021-22 season, the 2 extra places would have gone to clubs from England and the Netherlands. In 4 of the past 5 campaigns, in fact, a team in the Premier League would have received one of those additional slots. In theory, it means that the Premier League could end up with a total of 7 teams in the Champions League due to the coefficient spot awarded on performance, plus the previous season's Champions League and Europa League winners if they are already qualified through league position. It's highly unlikely, but it could happen. In another change, clubs from the same country will now be able to play against each other in the early knockout stages.
What y'all think about that? What do y'all think about clubs from the same country being able to play against each other? I already know how y'all be, man. Especially the club that lose. Y'all gonna say, oh, this wouldn't have happened in the old format. In the old format, we would have made it further, bro. We wouldn't have had to play a Premier League side, isn't it? Why these other teams like Real Madrid probably get to play like a cupcake. Y'all gotta play another Premier League club, man.
Domestic clashes are currently blocked until the quarter-final, but that will no longer be the case. And despite suggestions to the contrary, there are no plans yet to scrap two-legged semi-finals or move the competition's Final Four to a single host city.
Ooh.
Those changes may come in the future, but not in time for this round of restructuring.
So he say there's no plans to scrap two-legged semifinals. So there's been talk to make the semifinal one game, just like the final. I feel like, hell yeah, I like that. Hell yeah, what is the point? Even when I first started watching, I was like, so the round of 16 is 2 legs. The quarterfinals is 2 legs. The semifinals is 2 legs. But the final is 1 game? What goddamn sense does that make? It doesn't really make sense. If you go ahead a finals 1 leg, you might as well make the semifinal 1 leg. I wholeheartedly agree, man.
We are convinced that the format chosen strikes the right balance, that it will improve the competitive balance and generate solid revenues that can be distributed to clubs, leagues, and into grassroots football across our continent, said UEFA President Alexander Ceferin in early May. And there's plenty of reason for enthusiasm. The Premier League will be delighted that they're almost guaranteed to have 5 Champions League places instead of 4.
Oh, God.
We would also expect Spain, Germany and Italy to be relatively satisfied with the new format, as the second extra spot is likely to end up going to either La Liga, the Bundesliga or Serie A. And having seen a worst-case scenario of historic wildcards, big club greed and the erosion of domestic football calendars avoided, Kevin Miles, Chief Executive of the Footballers Supporters Association, welcomed the decision. Supporters have been consistent in their arguments against any expansion of European competition that would eat into domestic football and attack our principles of sporting merit. While any increase in the number of games is a step in the wrong direction, it appears that fans' input into the dialogue with UEFA has not been in vain. But that's not to say that everyone is happy. There is a school of thought that UEFA were only listening to the Premier League and La Liga when it came to ditching the 10-game league phase and reducing it to 8 matches. France's Ligue 1 wanted 10 games and not club coefficients. They wrote to UEFA and the European Club Association to say that is why they reduced their domestic league to 18. They anticipated the increase in European games.
Bro, it's like you got the Premier League, you got the Liga talking in your ear. Are you really, you yourself, are you going to listen to Uber Eats? Well, now Mickey D's, that a McDonald's league now. Are you going to listen to McDonald's league over there? Or you go listen to the goddamn Portuguese league? Or you go listen to the Serie A? No, I'm not listening to them. I'm listening to the 2 big hitters. Are you listening to the Bundes?
They also wanted one of the 2 extra places to be given to a domestic champion from a mid-sized league, and the other one to the 5th biggest league, so it had 4 spots, like the top 4 leagues. At the moment, the 5th best league is Liga. So it essentially boils down to every league being greedy and wanting more.
Yeah.
But the new format will offer balance and should encourage teams playing in any of UEFA's 3 club competitions to go as far as possible and earn coefficient points for their country, thereby maximising their own chances of qualification and progress.
I like that. That's a nice little conclusion. It do being balanced. There's one thing I will say. I always tell y'all that football is not balanced. It's not none of that. Should encourage teams playing in any of UEFA's 3 club competitions to try as hard as they go so they can, for sure, try to get as much points as possible so they can lock in a spot to the Champions League. It just encourages more play year-round.
Whether that will happen, of course, remains to be seen, as does the means by which the revenues for the 2024-27 cycle will be split, with negotiations now set to begin. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel.
Subscribe to the boys of T4 by Athletic. Let me know how y'all think about the new format. The new format do indeed bring balance. It brings change, but are y'all ready for change? A lot of y'all don't like change.
For the 2024
y'all let me know, bro. I'm pretty sure like 90% of y'all not gonna like it. I'm pretty sure 90% of y'all say the beautiful game is ruined and whatnot. Hey, we'll see. I'm out.